There have been some studies done that have looked at how the emotional troubles that a generation has experienced get passed on to the next generation. And it has been really interesting because what they have found is that the children and even the grandchildren and great-grandchildren of victims from the Holocaust, who were never in Europe, who never experienced any of the negative effects, who only had a really nice life, say in the United States, they actually exhibit some of the fears and phobias that people who lived through the Holocaust had. And they have also noticed in people who are descendants of people who lived through the Great Depression, especially people who had huge struggles during the Great Depression, that they have inherited the same anxiety about money and survival, and have even inherited some of the bad hoarding habits of people who lived through the Depression and concluded you cannot get rid of anything because you might need to keep it. The course that I offer on how to use feng shui cures to forgive your family members, we have a section devoted to healing your family line so that you can be okay with your ancestors. And that's one of the things that we teach. And it has been amazing to see the results that people had from just doing feng shui cures. That might mean doing a family photo setup in their homes, done in a certain way, and that triggered the forgiveness they needed to experience. In order for you to be healthy and happy in the future, you need to reconcile with your family line. You need to forgive your family members. And you need to also break the chains of anything negative that you see there, break the chains of abuse, break the chains of negative views around money, and also, around anything in life. What often happens is that people that grew up in conditions that were not ideal when they were children, they recognize that and they give their children a different future. But in doing that, they absorb all the negativity. They become like this filter that absorbs all the negativity and doesn't pass it on to their children so they can bless their children and change their family tree for the future. But in doing that, sometimes they develop distress in themselves that can manifest as all sorts of ailments because they have not been able to heal. So it's important to recognize that, to not fall into the cheap forgiveness of saying, oh, my parents just did the best they could, right? Because you have to recognize how you were affected by the actions of your parents, by the action of an ex-husband. You have to recognize how you were affected. That doesn't mean you're going to seek revenge or vengeance, but you have to recognize what was done to you in order to seek the healing that you need.